You scoffed. You didn't try to kill me, but you pushed me just now. If I didn't control myself, any problems would cause to my child after I fell would be your fault. Some of people there was afraid because you really call the police. They're afraid if they will be implicated or even worse that Jones will be fired them because incident happened in the entrance of Jones. So they move aside, leaving the one who bumped into you. She glared at her friends around. What are you guys doing? Can't you tell that this woman is pretending? How could she be pregnant? She might be gaining weight like a guinea pig. It's just a lie. Do you know if I'm pregnant or not? Do you send people to follow me 24 hours a day? That's why you feel like you know my situation like the back of your head. You coldly smile, informing that police will deal with them. Your gaze was vicious. Many of her friends left her alone, but then she ran away from there, warning you not to make trouble. You smiled, looking at them scared. You didn't actually call the police. You didn't have more to deal with them, so you called Jenny to pretending, and Jenny is the master of that. After waiting for 20 minutes, security guard came followed by Minho. When he saw you standing near the entrance, he immediately came to your side. Young madam, your pupils shrank and fake a smile. Lee Minhoshi, I'm no longer young madam of the June family. You can call me by my name in the future. He was speechless, then sighed. Young madam, young master is just angry. What he does was irrational. Irrational? Do you really think so? You should know better than me what kind of person Jungkook is. To be able to make such a decision, since the contract has already been handed over to me, it means that there will no turning back. He helplessly looked at you, then, I agree to divorce. You pursue red lips, so I am not here to pester him. Can you let me see him? He hesitated for a while. Well, I need to ask young Master John. You nodded, assuring him, okay, I will wait for you. He went back to ask for the permission. He was much faster than the security guard. In just less than 10 minutes, he came rushing and looked at you little anxiously. Let's go. Young master has a meeting in 15 minutes. Before that, young master said that he will see you. Tell me what you want to say. He pulled you inside. You couldn't keep up with him as you felt even more bitter. Just give 15 minutes. Counting the time, it was estimated that it would not even be 1 minute. It was still fine. Anyway, whether it's just a few minutes or a few hours, you just needed to make it clear. After reaching upstairs into his office, Minho stood at the door. Young master is inside. There are still some minutes before the meeting. Young madam, hurry up and go in. You walked into the office. He was sitting in a wheelchair, looking outside from the window as his back was facing. It seems like he was looking at the scene below the door to ceiling window. You didn't delay any more time. I have something to tell you. He didn't even turn his head as his body emitted coldness and didn't answer for a while, but impatiently said, if you have something to say, say it. I'm very busy. Are you that impatient? It is only a few minutes. He turned a little. He didn't have an expression on his face. Since you also know it's just few minutes, then don't talk nonsense. He looked at the time and reminded you coldly, you still have 1.5 minutes. If you don't have anything to say, get lost now. John Jungkook, you don't need to tell me to get out so urgently. After I finish, I will leave this place myself. Without you needing to tell me, I have done what I need to do. He stared at you. It has been a few days since he last saw you. You looked so different now. Furthermore, you had put red lipstick. It looked like that you actually had a bit of aura. What did she want to talk to me about? He frowned and keep staring at you. You took a deep breath, expressing your feelings in your heart. Or not, we getting a divorce. Then let's go to the Civil Affairs Bureau and settle the divorce procedures. You didn't care about his expression and said what you needed to say and felt that big stone had been pressing on your heart, being lifted a little. You looked down on your toes. Perhaps it will be good to divorce since you both don't trust each other and you both can't stay happily together for the lifetime. Separating was the best outcome between. You bite your lips and look at him, but was stunned as he unknowingly arrived in front of you, but you stay strong. Go to the Civil Affairs Bureau, Jungkook. After the formalities are fine, I will not bother you anymore. He grabbed your arm, pulling you down, and pinched your chin. Divorce procedures? He narrowed his eyes dangerously. When his fingers touched your chin, he could vaguely feel the layer of powder on your face. The texture of the powder made him frown in displeasure. In the past, when he pinched your face, he could touch your fair and tender cheeks that were so smooth as water, but now all he could touch was the powder. This made him very unhappy. Why did he turn himself into such a good person? Yes, the warmth coming from his fingers made you stun, and his grip turned strong, making you frown. You reached out to pull his sleeve, then used some strength to pull away his hand. I'm afraid I will disappoint you. I'm afraid you won't be able to hold today's meeting. Go and settle the divorce procedures now. You softly said, avoiding pain in your chin. You can't wait to get rid of me. You want to sleep with your little lover. He lifted his lips in a mocking manner and his eyes filled with extremely coldness. You both keep staring each other until Minho knocked on the door, reminding, Young master, the meeting is about to start. He came back to his sense and softly said, You can go through the formalities. I don't have time right now. Go out and wait. He rolled his wheelchair out. You immediately caught up to him. How long will you take? There must be a time limit, right? After not working for a few days, you forgot how long the Jones group meeting is going to be held, or do you want to go in and experience it again before you remember? You stood aside. You know, when Jones meeting will start it will take 2 hours or so. After you finish the meeting, we will go through the divorce procedures. He didn't say and drifted out. Okay, I will wait for you in the lounge for 2 hours. After that, you didn't care whether he answered or not. You quickly disappeared from his sight. He frowned slightly. This woman, it has only been a few days since I last saw her. Why did it feel like she had changed into a different person? Young master, the meeting is about to start. Minho stepped forward to remind. Got it. He impatiently replied, glancing coldly at the direction of you. You wait alone there because he don't have secretary and Minho followed him. No one came to bother you and you're familiar with this place. Since meeting will take long time, you make yourself some tea and flipped through the magazine. Your heart started to itch, waiting for half hour, let alone 2 hours. Time passed, you yawned and decided to take a nap. You got up early, so you were a little sleepy. Very quickly, after laying down, you fall asleep. The time to sleep was indeed easy. When you opened your eyes, it was more than 2 hours. You got up and went to look for Jungkook. You saw Minho there and immediately went to him. Lee Minho-shi, where is Jungkook? Is he done with the meeting? He had come to look for you. but he was embarrassed and scratches his head, nodding. The meeting is over, but then I will go find him. You walked, but he pulled the corner of your clothes, pulling you back. Young madam, wait a moment. You looked at him with a puzzled expression. What's wrong? Young master, he finished the meeting, but he just went out again. He went out? What does going out mean? Minho hesitated. Young master received a call after the meeting. Now he has something to do, so he left me here. You suddenly found it very funny. It turned out that even at this stage, he didn't care about your relationship with him. He didn't respect you at all. Young madam, young master didn't mean to leave you. It was just that he didn't expect the unexpected situation just now. What is so important? He looked away. This. So important that you want to give up such a good opportunity to get rid of me. You mocked yourself. Give me the address. I will go find him myself. I want to see when he will go to the Civil Affairs Bureau with me to settle the divorce procedures. His expression changed and stopped you. Young madam, why don't you wait here for a while? Or I will send you back today. Wait for a few days. No need, Limin Hoshi. You heard it too. He and I are going to get a divorce soon. I'm no longer the young madam of the Joan family. Don't call me young madam anymore. If others hear this, they will laugh at me. He sighed helplessly. Young madam, no matter what, you and young master are not divorced yet. Furthermore, you might not get a divorce. Don't explain it for him. Even if he was not willing to divorce now, I will. Really, Halimin Hoshi, in the future, just call me by my name. I'm Vine. If you don't want to call me by my name, then just call me Oi. But don't call me young madam anymore. Young madam? You glared at him. All right, I won't call you that anymore, young madam. You sighed. Give me the address. I will go find him. Young master really has something to do. Why don't you go back today? He is busy with him. I am busy with mine. It doesn't matter. But no matter what, Minho didn't want to give you the address. In the end, you sadly sighed. You're not willing to tell me, right? All right, I will go first. You walked out but then turned to look at him. Since he's so busy, then I will not look for him again. As for the divorce contract, I will find someone to handle it. You walked away. Minho was stunned and couldn't react on time, but then anxiously ran to block your way. Why she? I will take you there, but you will not go anywhere after you go there, alright? What you said made him nervous. If you really didn't come to find Jungkook later, then how could couples solve the misunderstanding? So he decided to bring you to find him. You smiled at him. He drove you to the place where his young master was. You didn't know what was going on. When you rolled down the window, what's wrong? Is this the place? It's the hospital. Why he here? What happened? This is the place. You wait here for a while. I will go in and tell young master to come out. You nodded. Okay, sorry to trouble you. You didn't think much. He felt in a hurry. The more you looked at the hospital, the more you felt uncomfortable. Your mind was full of mess, and suddenly you remembered that. Isn't this the hospital that Yuri was admitted? You didn't recognize it at first, but then the thoughts overwhelmed you. Yuri stayed here, and Minho brought you here to look for Jungkook. Doesn't that mean the urgent matter that he said was that he came here to see Yuri? You guessed and felt that you had fallen into an ice cave. He actually abandoned you for her and even gave up the chance to get rid of you, and you actually foolishly chased into here to find out. What? You pursed your lips and get out of the car, then saw the car that came following along the way. Uncle Han, wait for me here. I will go in and take a look. He noticed your emotions was different, then nodded. Yes, miss. You followed the directions that you remember and walked towards Yuri's ward. Your heart was beating faster with each steps. You didn't know why you were so nervous and feeling uncomfortable when you reached the ward that's supposed to be Yuri's. Sure enough, you saw the scene. He saw indeed inside, and Yuri was pulling his arms, saying something. Her eyes were full of tears. Minho, who came in to look for Jungkook, stood helplessly by the side. The expression on his face was very impatient, but you didn't saw Jungkook's expression as his back was facing you. He really came to see her. You looked through the window and felt that your heart turned cold. The light in your eyes gradually disappeared and replaced by the darkness. There was nothing left in you. You saw Yuri threw herself into his embrace. He couldn't bear to watch it anymore and leaned against the cold wall. Forget it. There was no need to look anymore. Why did you ask for it? You had already get divorce contract, then he would be with whoever he wanted to be with. It was not something you could care about. You closed your eyes as tears came out suddenly, but then you harshly wiped away the tears before walked to the direction where you came from. Uncle Han waited for you long time and was little worried, and he called Sokchin informing about today's incident. He wanted to look after you, but you came back. He opened the car door for you. Miss, your bag. You sat inside. Uncle Han, I have made you wait for a long time. He sat into the driver's seat. No, no, miss, it's okay. Do we still have to wait? You shook your head and leaned back, closing your eyes. No, let's go back. You lost the last bit of hope. Your situation are heavier that made people feel uncomfortable. Uncle Han didn't know what had happened and he didn't dare to ask either. So he sent you back to the hotel. Since Kim Yuri was the only person in his heart, there was no need for you to look for him. As for the divorce procedures, perhaps you still needed to ask someone. Sokchin sent a message. Where are you? You took a look and remembered that you wanted to ask him for something on the way back to the hotel. You want to ask him to meet up, but you hesitated. You received message again. I'm going to the hotel now and meet up later. You were stunned and replied, okay, then put away the phone. Uncle Han, did you call Mr. Kim? He pulled his lips awkwardly and admitted, yes. I saw that you went in and didn't come out for a long time, so I was a little worried. Sorry, next time. It's okay, Uncle Han, thank you. You smiled and closed your eyes. It's just that I'm a little tired now. I want to sleep for a while. Uncle Han let you sleep. When you closed your eyes, it was burning as hot tears wanted to come out. You could only hold back at that time. When you went back to the hotel room, you met Sokchin waiting there. You walked slowly towards him. Mr. Kim, you are back. He smiled and subconsciously reached out to touch your head, but you avoided his touch unconsciously as your brain didn't work at that time. His hand froze in the air, then took back smiling. The person who would not acknowledge his own family for justice. You didn't expect him to smile too gentle to you. You looked at him and felt that you wanted to call him in the top of your heart, brother.